Okay, make sure y'all stay up and y'all watch 24/7 HH. It's going down. This your boy Pimpin Ken. We gonna give y'all some of this cyber game. Believe that, man. Big things popping, little things dropping. Hey, man, what can I say, man? You don't believe what I say? Check the resume, Jay.
Yeah, y'all talking about your pimping around here, man. Hey, man, pimping is art, man. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm pimping like a motherfucker. I got hoes all over the world. You know, I got as many as 16 bitches at one time. You know, I was a whole magnet. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of $1,000s of jewelry. You know, Rolls Royces, Benzes. You know, just living the life. You know, not even knowing that the money was so rampant, and I was getting so much money. I didn't even know I was getting money no more. It was just like a routine. Go give me some gators. You know, go give me a new ring, man. Go to my man Creations and tell me I need diamonds in my watch. It was an everyday thing. So I'm doing this, and then I met a brother named Reverend Seymour at this place called Mr. K's, I think on 89th and Cottage Grove. And so we meeting and we talking. I'm going there, I'm buying these $1,000 shoes every day. And I'm like, man, what you got to do? What you got to do? Hey, man, we got a players ball coming, man. Bishop Don Juan and Ice-T, all of them going to be there. I said, shit, man, I need to be there. So I gave dude $500 and I came to their party. It's at the Brothers Lounge. And Ice-T and Bishop Don Juan was there. So I enjoyed myself. They said, come back again next year. So I came the next year. When I came the next year, my man Brent Owens from HBO was there. So they was filming me. I said, but get that goddamn camera out of my face, man. What's wrong with y'all, man? Don't be doing that shit, man. Dude, you don't know me, homie. I said, man, you better quit playing with me. He just like, man, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. I said, talk to me about what? What you want to talk about? You know what I'm saying, man, I'm pimping, man. I don't need my shit all on TV and everything. You know, I was just a street dude, crazy. And he finally said, well, man, listen, man, it's some money. I'm going to pay you, man. He said, you see what this is? He showed me American Express card. He says, $1 million on that. He got me then. And then so he came to Milwaukee. I took him to my store at the store, you know, probably about 4 times the size of this, clothes everywhere. And he was like, man, you doing it like this? And I showed him my property, my real estate. You know, he said, you're a businessman. I said, yeah, I am a businessman. I said, we're here to do business, right? You know, so I got my lawyer. We did a contract. I'm probably the only person he did a contract. We had like a 30-page contract, and I ended up negotiating where, you know, the movie have to end with me, which if you watch Pimps Up, it did end with me, that my name had to be in the credits, which my name is in the credit. And I think one other thing that I'll be able to film my own movie. So Pimpology, if you go to my Pimpin Ken podcast, my channel, you can see that movie, the full movie, Pimpology, which is a movie that I shot, and I spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands filming at the same time they were filming, because they had these kind of cameras back then. You know, you had to have those, the big boy cameras. You know, everything was expensive. It was a lot of game back then. You know, people would run. You know, you tell somebody you want them to film, they charge you for editing. It was so many charges. You know, before you know it, you know, you can spend $10,000 in one day filming, and that's how it was. And so that business sense clicked in. So I said, if this is Pimps Up, Hoes Down, then Pimpology is going to be Pimps Up, Hoes Down Part 2. And that's what I labeled as Part 2 to Pimps Up, Hoes Down, because it's essentially the same footage, you know. And I made millions and millions of dollars off that product. We did it VHS, we did it DVD. Now we're doing it streaming through YouTube. So you know, it's a gift to keep on giving. And so that's how I end up getting really into business, you know what I'm saying, and really focusing on business, because, you know, HBO coming to the hood, you know, we met them on 79th, east of the Rhine. Man, that was big to me, you know. But my mind has always been, just like when Simon Schuster, they offered me $25,000 to do the book. At the time, I had a new Benz. I said, they won't even pay for the front end clip on my Benz. I said, man, get the fuck out of here with that shit. I don't do that little bitty money shit, man. About 2-3 years later, they called me, offered me $250,000 with my man Ed Davis. I said, let's make it happen, you know. And then they kind of fucked me in that deal. I thought I was doing something. The motherfuckers is smart. You got to watch these corporations, you know what I'm saying? You know, so I thought that I was doing something. Then I looked at the contract. I hired a forensic accountant, because I was making so many millions of dollars. My book was selling so many copies around the prison and around the university and stuff. I said, I want to do a forensic account. And on the paper, it says after it revert from hardcover to paperback, I only get 5%. Plus, I got to pay production costs, which means I had to pay for the $2 that it costs to make the book. So this was a charge that was hidden charge that I never seen it. I thought, that's why you asked me excited stuff. I'd be real leery. I'd be like, man, hold on, wait a minute. Hey, let me double check this. So as a result of that, I end up getting really fucked from Simon & Schuster. But for the average motherfucker, they'd be like, man, $250,000 is a lot of money. And then, they say, well, man, you got a lot of exposure. They put you all over the world. They put you in the prison and stuff like that. But me as a businessman, I was mad at myself, not at Simon Schuster. So I proposed to them. I said, hey, check this out, man. Let me buy the audiobook, because at that time, audiobooks was on the rise. But I knew that they didn't have a understanding of what direction that it was going. They was kind of slow because they wasn't moving audiobooks like they move today. So they offered me to buy it back. They said $50,000. So what I did was I went and I constructed me a contract. I put a Jewish name on there, Mr. Limburg, so it seemed like it was a real lawyer. I said, Law Office of Limburg. And it was really me. I copy and pasted shit. And in there I said royalties for, the audiobook would come from the royalties of the original book. That's all I put on there, And so when I went to New York and I'm sitting down with these lawyers, about 4 or 5 lawyers in there, and I took the check and I endorsed it, but I never put a price on it. I flipped it. I put it on the counter. And so they read through it. They scanned through it. They signed it. I signed it. I took the contract. And I said, I'll be right back. I got to use the bathroom. I left with the contract. My publisher called me and said, say, man, you didn't endorse the check. You didn't put the amount on it. I told him, I said, man, did they read the contract? And you got to remember, this is the same company that I'm doing business with today. I'm a literary agent for them. They were so impressed, that I was able to, come in there and handle my business without a gun, without. I used their own trickology, whatever you call it, against them. And so I now own 100% right on my publishing, my audiobook. If you go on any platform, it's going to say owner, Ken Ivey. So to do that was my retribution and my revenge, for, and to do that against a company that has $1 billion or more in assets, I felt kind of good. And I don't have no degrees. I haven't been to Harvard, Yale, or any of those prestigious universities that those lawyers that were sitting in front of me went. So that was kind of cute, I kind of got back at them folks. And I made, and I made way more money and continue to make more money off of my audiobook than I would have ever made off of my my paperback book. Hey, man, just says y'all don't know, man, you got to go to Mr. K's. Yeah, man, if you ever go to Chicago, man, go to Evergreen Mall. I used to get my shoes from them on 89, 87 in Cottage Grove. I remember Pimp C came to my house, and my sons was standing right there with us. And he was like, hey, Ken, man, I'm gonna put them boys in my wheel, right? And I was like, man, I hope you do, right? And my son, to this day, he's young, but he remember that. He always say, Pimp C got me in his wheel. And for him to be young, to remember that, that was funny. But a more crazy story, I remember when G-Eazy and Pimp C had got into it, and I had called Slick Puller, which is G-Eazy's man, and I got him on the phone, and I was Pimp C. We was at the apartment at Westheimer, so I'm talking to Slick Puller, and I'm telling him, man, y'all got to cut this mess out, man. We got to bring peace between Pimp C and G-Eazy. He like, man, ain't no beef, and Pimp C was listening by the door, and when I opened the door, he jumped up. I was like, Pimp, what's happening, man? And he's just that type of dude, man. He was real, suspicious. He was really, kind of, I don't know, paranoid. And, for him to do that, that let me know that, he really didn't trust nobody, not even me. You know what I'm saying? That was a crazy story, because I tell people that, and they like, man, that's crazy. I said, yeah. you know. And this a lot of times, you know, I remember one time me and Pimp C was driving, he was talking crazy to the boss man, and he said, yeah, and me and Pimpin Ken. I'm like, man, hold on, man. Wait a minute, man. Don't put me in that, man. He tried to include me while he talking crazy to somebody else. That somebody else, you know, they was the real deal. And I was like, no, man, I ain't got nothing to do that. But Pimp would always do that. You know, he would, if you go look at some of his interviews, he would talk crazy. And he would say, yeah, and me and Pimpin Ken got movies coming out. It's like, you know, I was like, he would throw me in it. But, you know, I didn't mind, you know, because, you know, I mean, you know, he was a good dude, man. Pimp C was one of the greatest, man. He very talented brother, man. You know, I remember we was in L.A. and we was in the studio with Michael Jackson record, and I got a chance to see how he sampled those old school music, and he would go and get the Isley Brothers. He would get these different groups, and then he would be listening to them, and that's how he would formulate, you know, the songs and stuff like that. And you know, that was my first time really just being in the midst of a producer and see how producers really think. You know, so those were some memorable times. And the last thing I can say about Pimp C, before he died, the day before he died, he called me. He said, Ken, what's happening, man? I said, what's up, Pimp? He said, yeah, man, I know I've been tardy, man, but I'm back. You know, and it was crazy that he said it because I only had not talked to him for about a week. And he said, I've been tardy. Because we usually talk every other day. And, you know, man, little did I know that would be the last time I hear from the man. It was crazy, man. The next time I hear about Pimp C, we over in Atlanta at one of his houses I just bought. And Paper Chase, may rest in peace, he's dead too. Paper Chase said, man, Pimp C dead. And we just got on the internet, man. We were just looking and searching everything. And everywhere we turned, it was like, legendary Pimp C is dead. So I called Ruben, you know, Rick is Pimp C's manager at the time. I called Rick, I said, say, man, is it true? He said, yeah, it's true. I got his computer right here. He's deceased. And I was like, man, that's crazy, you know. But I mean, it's so many times we've been together, man. Man, I'd be here all day just telling you stories about Pimp C. We used to swap each other cars. You know, I go get his Bentley. I give him my compressor. I had that compressor, the SL55, the one in 200,000. Bad motherfucker, man. That motherfucker, Pimp loved that motherfucker. Even when he sang that song, I drive a compressor. He was talking about my car because he never had a compressor. I had the compressor, you know. And, you know, we would switch cars, and I'd ride his Bentley. He'd ride my motherfucking compressor, you know. He gave me compliments, you know, because when he went to jail, I was there at the Sharptown Mall when he went to jail. He told me to move, to go ahead, because I think he had like some powder or something on him. And he said, go ahead. You know, these folks would have sweat me, so I kept going. I didn't know that he was going to go to jail that day, but he went to jail that day. A couple days later, I go down to county jail. I'm visiting him, you know, and he's down there, and he talking. And, you know, so it was like, while he was in jail, I did a song for him. You know, Jay Prince called me. I did a song. I did Bun B's album. Then I did one of the Pimp C album. So, you know, I mean, we always maintain our relationship, man. I don't know, man. It's just, I could go for days, man. I don't know. You know, but I will say, before he became Pimp C, you know, me and him was cool as a motherfucker. Before he became the out of jail Pimp C, we was cool. You know, he showed me, like I tell people, I ain't gonna say that, cause I said I'm gonna say it no more, but we gonna leave that alone. But, you know, he showed me a lot of stuff. You know, he told me that I can be a producer. You know, he said, Ken, you can make a beat. He said, you can be the next Dr. Dre. I said, I can never be the next Dr. Dre. He said, yes, you can. He said, Dr. J don't make his motherfucking beats. You know what I'm saying? He was that crazy. He just like he wanted me to be Dr. Dre. He said, I can pay other niggas to make my beats and I'd be Dr. J. That's just how he used to think, man. He was a hell of a brother, man. You know.